Hello again. Welcome back to Space Engineers. Another ship showcase. Another one of my builds. This is the DSMV Pegasus Fleet Command Vessel. So this is not intended as a frontline combat vessel, although it is intended to accompany the combat fleet out to the front. But what this is intended as a coordination vessel. This is where, the battle commander would sit and give out orders to the rest of the fleet. It would be, of course, escorted probably by a couple of corvettes, and it would park itself in hopefully a nice convenient patch of asteroids and send commands to the fleet. So we'll give you a nice little side tour and a bottom tour and a top tour, all that. Front end, well, kind of a pig with lipstick, to be honest, but that's all right, because any visiting dignitaries and whatnot are just going to come right in the front. You want them to know that you see them coming, right? Anyway, we'll get to the hangar in a second. Beside here, we got a little bit of spaced armor. This thing's not terribly heavily armored. Again, it's not intended to be right at the front lines. It's more in the rear with the gear. For you Army infantry guys, this is that little square tank that doesn't have a turret, but it's got a lot of antennas sticking out of it, and you're not allowed inside. That's what this is. Don't get me wrong, I'm not making fun of you. I was one. Always wanted to see inside that stupid little tank, but they wouldn't let me in. Anyway, so yeah, a little bit of spaced armor, a little bit of a view into the hangar bay. In here in the side, if you come along in here, you'll see there's a man-sized airlock access. You don't have to open the big friggin' door to get in and out. And in here we got a couple of artillery turrets, just in case something gets close enough, As you can see, this thing's not meant to take a beating. The warp drive is visible from the side, and this is just, again, a little bit of spaced armor. This thing is a mix of light and heavy armor, Core area is covered with heavy, the rest have layers of light, hopefully to stop any kind of explosive rounds from getting too far in. Same thing here again, a lot of spaced armor. Don't really know, to be honest, if spaced armor works effectively in Space Engineers, but I like the concept. This is a ship that I built with an idea in mind of how I wanted it to look and what I wanted it to do, in so much as being the main communication hub of the fleet. But I was like, I'm not going to compromise making it look as spaceshipy as I could make it. You know what I mean? I was just trying to make this thing look cool. That was my main objective. I sort of wanted the spaced armor things going on, So this wasn't intended to be shot at or anything like that in any kind of a practical sense. It just is what it is. I wanted to make something cool. So we'll go a little further along the side. You'll see the fleet command there. This is another kind of spaced armor thing. We got laser antennas all over this thing, so that when it's parked, it can communicate over vast distances with the rest of its fleet. Here we got a couple of assault cannons, a couple of rocket turrets, just to keep any fleas off your flanks. The length of windows there, the ship name, lateral thrust, reverse thrust, more light spaced armor here. Pretty paint job. Doesn't look half bad. Got a nice booty. I like nice complicated engine clusters, I can't get off that sort of thing. It's just what I like. Lots of vents and slats and bits and pieces to look into. More high-powered antennas there, 2 of them. Come right down in here. I'm not going to go in this way, but see, you can get right down in here and you can see these great big giant honking engines and have a good look at the fiddly bits. I really enjoy that sort of thing. I'm kind of really happy with the way the back end of this thing turned out. You know, as per usual, the textures on some blocks on PS5 are wacky. They never seem to quite completely load in most of the time. But whatever, like this, you know, no, not even that. This is supposed to be safety lines like that, but it ain't happening. Anyway, get down here. We got more big honking hydrogen engines in case you need to get away in a hurry. Tail lights, you know, safety first. And the other side's exactly the same. So instead, we'll go underneath. Underneath, you can see we got a lot of landing gear. Now, this thing is not really capable of landing on a planet because I was not willing to overly alter my design to account for having a lot of hydrogen thrusters pointing down. You know, you can do an emergency landing safely on the moon. You know, you're not going to want to linger in the air very long. You're not going to have a lot of hang time. But if you need to, you can land on the moon. Up front here, I got a great big old dual custom railgun turret. This ship doesn't have any modded weapons, so, you know, I made a railgun turret the old-fashioned way. It's AI controlled, so whatever the range of the AI is for detection is what you're going to get. I don't have any of the new flight modules in this. You'll have to add those, and the new combat module for space engineers that you can get might be able to control those guns at a considerably greater distance. I'm not sure. Again, I don't use them very often, so you'd have to add that. This does not have a server room. It's an older model ship. All right, so here we got big old antennas, you know, long-range communications. One bank of hydrogen thrusters. Shut up, lady. Some ion thrusters. You can see there's a little row of gyros in there. Here we have fueling, you know, reloading connection. It's on a piston. And let's see, a little bit further in here, we got all these more gyros and all kind of cool inside fiddly bits. So these big old landing gear, they fold down, obviously. And behind these doors, I have hydrogen thrusters, great big ones. And this is why it's able to land on it. Stop. I have stick drift, and I apologize ahead of time for all the spazzy movements of my character. Stop it. Stop. Anyway, so there's, you know, 4 hydrogen thrusters tucked away in there. They're not generally meant to be used. Like I said, they're the on switch for those is separate for the on switch for the rear ones. I believe. I'm not sure. This is actually one of my earlier builds, so I hadn't quite gotten the hang of all the systems yet. But yeah, so, you know, put the landing gear down, open the doors. Over here a bit more, you can see we got more hydrogen thrusters, a couple more. And they're behind armored doors or whatever, armored hangar doors, to give them a little bit of protection, just in case. Yeah, here we got some greebling, you know, some pretty lights. And a couple more doors with hydrogen thrusters, and the back set of landing gear. Those are all, I put separate blocks on each one of these hinges and then joined them together with merge blocks, so it's all one piece. That's how I got this many landing gear and this many hinges to work and behave together in one cohesive unit. It actually seems to sort of help with avoiding clang because they're all joined together. You don't need to share inertia tensors either. It just sort of works. They might get a bit of jiggle when you're landed, but that's just space engineers. So, but I like the ship because it's got a whole lot of greebling on the bottom side, right? It's got a whole lot more detail than you'd think maybe you could get out of space engineers. You know, you play with the different flat panels for color, for stripes and stuff like that. And a lot of the girders and stuff are handy for that. And you tuck some neon lights behind that to give it some glow, right? See, there's the rocket pods. Shut up, lady. There's the space armor. That's the bottom of the fleet, the command section of the space armor. It curls around underneath and joins onto the center of the hull here. And in front here. And the big old antenna. And we'll go up top now. Top, this is just top of the hangar. In here, you can't see in now, but that's the, I guess it would be the ship commander's room. They got a assault turret, artillery turret, Gatling turret. Yeah, a little peek into the bridge. We'll get to that. Another assault cannon turret, 2 more artillery turrets, Gatling turret, another artillery turret, another Gatling turret, and 2 assault gun turrets. So, you know, it's not completely defenseless, but, you know, it's not intended for frontline work. Alright. We'll go in the front hangar here and have a tour of the ship. Here we have the main hangar with the textures on most of the blocks freaking out. They're supposed to be stripy like this, but orange, but they look like that most of the time. It's a little thing, but it's been in the game for a while now. I really wish they'd fix it because it's friggin' annoying. I mean, you know, everything works, but anyway. Main hangar. Specifically sized for the EL6 Manta shuttle Mark II. It's one of my builds. I built it to fit in this. It's a pretty decent shuttle. I'll do a showcase on it. It's planetary landing capable in any of the vanilla planets in Space Engineers. Atmospheric flight, hydrogen ions, and atmospheric engines. It's a good little shuttle. But anyway, it's not about this video. This is about the Pegasus. So, any important guests come to visit, they get a nice sort of impressive kind of view, window there where, you know, whoever's really important can stand there looking at them like they're important. Well, then they come in here. They can sit. Shut up, lady. And they can sit in this ship's version of, I guess 10 forward. You know, the important people there. You blah blah blah, important words, right? If not, you can use it as you know, crew lounge. You watch some TV. You know, play a game of D&D at the table. Whatever you want to do. A little bar back here, you know, cook some vittles up if you want. Have poop if you want. And if any of the guests get unruly, a bartender can just sneak in here and, you know, get a little bingity bang and settle them right down. So yeah, this is the little lounge area, and you can stand here and glare at your diplomats as they come in. So we're going to do a ring around the ship kind of a thing, because it's not quite the same from one side to the other. Which is unusual for my builds, because usually I get lost in ships that aren't the same from one side to the other. But immediately up from here, we have the ship commander's room. And in here, you can have a seat, watch some glitched out textures television. And oh, that was disorienting. Cook some food up on the glitched out texture stove. You know, and then his private quarters would be in here. He can shower, he can poop. In the bed here, he can sleep. You know, it ain't much, but if they angle the ship towards the sun, he can get some natural light in here. You know, it's got some windows looking out. Could be worse. Place to change. Do some fancy computering. You know, a little workstation. You can tell, oh, stand still. You can tell how much energy they're using, how much hydrogen they got left, what speed they're going, what time it is. It used to be that this would tell me what time it is really, but I think it tells you what time it is in the game now. I'm not sure, and that's how you close the window. Anyway, that's the ship commander's quarters. And here, a hallway, a little, you know, behind the shielding. This, being black, is a maintenance door. But we're going to go down here because it's an important part of the ship. You can access it from both sides. So I'm not going to go through the other side because we're not to that part of the tour yet. I'm just going to plop down. All of my ships only have 0.5 G, so that if you fall down a ladder well, it won't hurt you. This is quite a little ways down. You know, a few stories, 3, 2, I don't know. This is the warp drive core, the warp core, whatever you want to call it. So you see we got a warp drive stacked sideways here, and another one stacked right side up there. So you can come in here and fix them if they happen to go wacky, or if something's wrong, you need to power them down. You can just, pew. No, yeah, thank you. Power them down if need be. You know, come up here, fix these ones. You know, need a little flavor space, maintenance areas. You don't have to go outside to fix stuff. That wasn't the top at all. That's kind of why I left that conveyor bare, so I could see. Alright, ever onwards. A few more windows. And here we have medical. So, very sparse little medical thing, you know, like I said, this isn't meant for frontline, it's just somebody gets dysentery or something, bring them in here and fix them right up. This ship is old enough that it came before the latest the latest batch of decorative blocks. So it's old school interior. This is the crew quarters. Got some storage compartments. Come in here, we got a little couch they can chill on, something to cook with. Spacesuits, storage, little eating area. Yeah, you can chill on the couch there and watch some television. And in here, so people can do all that without disturbing anyone, we have, you know, junior quarters. You can sleep in here and not get bothered by TV and shit, right? Can't have tired crew, kind of course. Shower, somewhere to poop. Right, not going out that side because we got to go around. We got to do the roundabout. Ever onwards. Blue is the command deck, but we'll save that for a sec. We'll keep going this way for now. And this way we have engineering. Right, yeah, a little work table, suits, storage, more storage. Spare parts, programmable blocks should you decide to ever use it for coordinating landing gear and stuff. The control block for the twin railgun turret on the belly, I believe. Oh no, that's upstairs. This is just a spare one in case somebody wants to add any more turrets. More spare parts, blueprint table. You know, storage, somewhere to poop. Cool little engineering area. This is where Mr. Boss of Engineering sits. You know, I like it. It's cool. It feels like, you know, the kind of place where your engineer would be in a real ship, right? You know, I've never served in a ship, but I've done lots of tours. Seen it in movies. All right, through here, another hallway with some windows to look out of. Somewhere along here we'll be able to see, yes, scene of the engine room. And I thought that was yeah, in the back of that there. Yeah, get a peek at the engines. In here, we have the main secondary hangar, I guess, rear hangar. The aft hangar, there we go. A little bit of protection, because, you know, people that try and sneak in, they generally try and sneak in from the back. It's just how things work like that, you know? That just goes out the back door. That was where I was standing before and complaining about the textures. In here, stop moving. That was the wrong button. Oh, Jesus, it took right off. Alright, in here, this is the engine room. Another programmable block if you should ever want one. A couple of large industrial cargo containers for ammo and whatever else you might need, ice, uranium. Come down here. It gets a bit loud, but we're underneath the H2O2 generators. There's a whole bank of them here. Got 2 large industrial nuclear reactors. Good number of gyros, some oxygen storage, a lot of batteries. There's the window we were looking in just on the way down here. Some more control blocks if you, or AI turret block if you need to make more turret blocks, or if you need to use another one to link up with the big turret upstairs in case one goes malfunctions or gets shot out. Basic refinery and a basic assembler, just in case you need to fix stuff if you're out on your own doing some electronic warfare missions perhaps, or some spying missions. This is a decent ship for that. Like I said, it's not meant for combat, but it's decent range on it. Lots of communication, so you could pick up some dirt on your enemy and beam it back to home base with your laser antennas, and they would never detect it, right? So this is just fuel tanks, this fuel storage area. Pretty neat. I like it. It feels like an engine room, you know what I mean? Again, that's kind of just the way I designed it. Ordinarily, if I was really going for a ship meant to take a beating, I wouldn't put everything important so close together, but whatever. In a real ship, this will be below the waterline and shielded with a lot of heavy armor. There is heavy armor all around this, actually. I made sure that at least this was fairly well secure against damage, but again, it's not intended to go out and get in a fist fight. But it's a neat little area. I like this whole the area of the engineering in general, with the hangar and the engine room and stuff. It tickles my fancy. Lots of bulkhead separation, obviously, to prevent depressurization of the entire ship. Gets a bit annoying, but I'm sure you can understand. With this many bulkheads for safety, it would be a right pain in the ass to try and automate all of them. Let's go up to the command deck, shall we? This is maybe one of my favorite bridges. So that right there would be the turret controller that controls the twin railgun turret on the belly of the ship. And back here we have a little... This would be kind of like, I don't know, officer on duty quarters. Like if you're just chilling next to an asteroid, you don't need your pilot to be sitting at the helm, right? Especially if you're clamped to it. So if you're just on monitoring and there's people doing their thing and you just need your pilot to be nearby and ready to go, you can have a little snooze in here, right? Close the door, and when time comes, he's not falling asleep at the wheel. In here, somewhere to poop. Little conference, just chill out for a sec room, look out the window, plan stuff, I don't know, whatever. Control block, obviously. And in here we have the, fancy looking hollow table, a couple desks for anybody needs to sit there and do desk things, a couple gunner's turrets if you want somebody on the, manually controlling the turrets, and the pilot seat, and a view out to some of the solar panels. Just enough to be able to keep the power going and the life support on if things go catastrophically wrong and you wind up drifting through space or something. And that's her. I think that's... Oh, right. We're going to go down the other side because I haven't finished the thing yet. So I knew I was forgetting something. But yeah, it's, like I said, one of my favorite bridges. I like the ambiance. It's got enough technical looking stuff in it to make it look good. This is my second favorite bridge. I have another bridge I like more than this, but that's a whole other ship. Anyway, little greeblies, details, pretty lights. Alright, on the port side of the ship, this is just the other side of the crew quarters, accessible from both sides. And instead of medical on this side, we have junior officers' quarters. So, place to chill, place to sleep, place to change, place to poop, place to shower. Isn't that lovely? let's move on. And here, this is just the other side of warp drive access. This is just the other side of the commander's room. And this leads us back down to 10 forward, quote unquote. And back to the front hangar again. That's all she wrote for the Pegasus. You got it on mod.io, DSMV Pegasus FCV, Fleet Command Vessel. Anyway, have fun with it. Have a good one.